Hi Scorpio, welcome to Sweet Tea Astrology and Tarot. My name is Erica and I'm so happy you're here with me. This is your March 29th forecast for Astrology and Tarot. Thank you for hanging out and waiting for me. I think I'm back. Let's talk about March for y'all. On the very first of the month, we've got Venus moving into Aquarius. For you, this is the fourth house of home, family, roots, foundation, and stability. If this isn't the actual home or dwelling that you're living in, or the structural roots of your family, it could be speaking to your bones or your teeth. On the I'm sorry, y'all, I'm trying to get sick. On the 5th of the month, on the 5th of the month, we've got Mercury going retrograde at 29 degrees of Pisces. This occurs for your 5th house. So a lot of focus in the 5th house. It's really interesting that I'm doing these videos. I'm a Scorpio rising, and this is a part of the things that I create as a part of my service to the collective. Yeah, I've got a lot of 5th house energy, and you do too. So Mercury going retrograde at 29 degrees of Pisces in your 5th house indicates for me that, one, this gives you an idea or a chance to reflect back on the Chiron journey that has occurred for the last several years. Chiron has been moving through Pisces, and this Mercury retrograde gives you an opportunity to look back and see if you've done the work properly, to look back and see if you've healed that wound, because Chiron is the wounded healer. There's been a wound in the 5th house for you. I hope you've been able to address it. On the 6th of the month, we've got Uranus, the planet of shocks and surprises, liberation, rebellion, and revolution, moving into Taurus. For you, this is the 7th house, and Uranus will be here until 2025. Now, if you want an idea of what this energy looks like, it was around May of 2018 when the Kilauea volcano was erupting, and there were fissures just showing up overnight, the roads ripping apart and lava coming to the surface. That was a shocking transformation of that area, and it's a really good analogy for what Uranus does to sort of shake up our world, right? So Uranus will shake off what we no longer need or what no longer serves us, even if we don't agree right now. Because as humans, we are prone to being habits of creature. On the 6th of the month, the same day, we have a new moon at 15 degrees of Pisces, and this gives you an opportunity at the new moon to work with that 5th house. If you have not done the Chiron work, if you have not tried to heal the soul wound that occurred in your 5th house, then this new moon gives you a chance, another 6-month window to put the work in. I have been healing my Chiron wound since I fell off the channel or the planet last year. I've learned a lot about myself, a lot of things I didn't see or know or even have a name to call it by. We'll get into that discussion later, though. This new moon gives you a chance for 6 months of focused concentration in that 5th house of your childhood or children, dealing with your creativity, dealing with your romance, dealing with your social life. It gives you a chance to rehabilitate that area if you need it. And I know I do. I'm sorry, I got a little real. On the 20th of the month, we've got the sun moving into Aries. This is your 6th house. This is your house of work and health, or competency and skills that you bring to the services that you provide. It's also your daily routine, and it can be your pets. The sun moving into this area means that you're going to be focused more on the themes of work and health, or being able to get more feathers to put in your cap, more competencies to put initials at the end of your business card or your title, those types of things. And if you aren't in that sphere, then we're talking about health. And health is the first wealth. If you do not have health, you cannot do anything else. Tend to it, take care of it. There is a spotlight on it for a reason. It starts on the 20th. On the very next day, the 21st, we have a full moon at 0 degrees of Libra. This is your 12th house, and this is the house of hidden things, secrets that you keep from yourself, secrets that you keep from others, secrets in general. It's also the house of nebulousness, dream space. It can be illusion, delusion, escapism. It's also the house of karma, but I think it's those other things first. Dream space could also be like in meditation, where things just aren't very clear. But the full moon occurring in this 12th house gives you a chance to see under the full moonlight what needs to be revealed in that 12th house. And if you aren't the one that is doing the revealing, then something will be revealed to you. And Scorpio, that can go either way, because we are internet detectives. We just know. I don't know how we know. We just do. Trust your gut. It will not lead you wrong. On the 36th of the month, 36th, because that happens. Mercury is so in Pisces right now, y'all. I feel it so hard. Some of the other videos, I sound like I'm slurring or I have a lisp. I don't know what the deal is, but I'm doing this, and I hope that you are receiving it with the same energy that I am trying to create it in. So, on the 26th of the month, we have Venus, the planet of love, beauty, money, harmony, and resources. See what I mean? Moving into Pisces, that 5th house, again, bringing compassion, love, balance, harmony, the warm fuzzies, if you will, to that 5th house. And there's a lot of 5th house focus. A lot. So if it isn't, it's one of the themes of the 5th house. Big time. Big time. Creation. Artistic spark. The spark of life. The creation of your children. Dealing with your children or children in general. Your social life. The people that you hang out with on a very personal level. This isn't going out to a conference or like Comic-Con or Drag-Con or something like that. This is going out to the local bar with your friends, and you're not going to have 30 of them with you unless it's like a huge celebration. And if it is, congratulations. On the 28th of the month, we've got Mercury going direct in that 28th house, giving you an opportunity to clear up any sort of miscommunication that has occurred while you have been doing so much work in the 5th house. So if there's any questions that need to be answered, if you aren't clear on something, or if someone isn't clear, you need to make sure that you are doing your best to be as clear as possible. And once the 28th of the month rolls around through to like the second week in April, you will have a chance to reflect, reassess, revisit those things that may have been miscommunicated earlier. You will be more able to competently communicate what's going on after the 28th. And the further away from the 28th you get, the better it would be. On the 31st of the month, we have Mars moving into Gemini. For you, this is the 8th house. The 8th house is the house that Scorpio rules. It is a house of deep transformation and metamorphosis. This is where the butterfly, this is where the caterpillar becomes the butterfly. And it is Phoenix rising from the ashes kind of thing. It's very scorpionic. I have made the joke several times past that I have lived many lives in these 37, 38 years of mine. Bottom card reflects the overarching energy or underlying theme of the reading. You had an extra card pop, so I've got it down here. Mars moving into that 8th house. It could be that some of your you may be having some sexual escapades, Scorpio, because Mars is action. It's also aggression and fighting and all of that, but I'd like to see it as y'all getting busy as opposed to fighting over intimate stuff. That's what I want for you. That's what I hope for you. But I mean, if you've got to clear it up, you've got to clear it up. You've got to talk about it. Do it. Don't avoid it. I would say if they want to talk about it at the beginning of the month, do your best to say, can we revisit this at the end of the month? Right now is not a good time for me. You know what I mean? That's where astrology really is helpful in timing of situations. I know that I have used it for timing since I understood that there was a real validity to what was happening with astrological readings. It took me over a year of observation to be like, oh, okay. Very Scorpio. Oh, okay. This is all right. Yeah. I'm also shuffling for you the Lenormand deck. The Lenormand deck is a little deck that I picked up while I was kind of in hiatus. And it is a deck that is about half the size of the tarot deck, like 36 cards, something like that. Tarot has like 70 something. And these Lenormand cards are quite salty, but they give you more information into what is trying to be brought across. And that is something that I have seen as a theme with each of the videos that I've shot so far, is just that. Okay, you've had 2 cards jump, 3 cards jump out of the Lenormand deck. I'm going to place them the way they fell. I'm going to pull the bottom of the deck. Yeah. I think that's a lot of cards to have to deal with. What do you think? All right, Scorpio. What's going on? The card that popped for you, Ace of Pentacles. Aces are potentials, and the potentials. The pentacles are earth sign energy. Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. And this is something that is coming in that is unexpected, not seen, not fully promised yet, but there's a potential for it. The bottom card, representing the underlying theme or overarching energy, is the Nine of Wands. The 9 speaks to the theme of fruition. The Wands are fire sign energy. That is Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. The 9 of Wands deals with the creative spark, but this card speaks to resilience and persistence. Nevertheless, they persisted. I won't say she, because we all have problems. To me, the way this card looks, it seems like this character has been running, trying to escape something. And that's that 12th house full moon, by the way. Trying to escape something. It could be in their head. It could be in reality. But they are running from something, and they have stopped to collect their breath and to look back to see how far they have come and how much distance is between them and their opponent. This is the 9. The 10 means that there's still more room to put between you and them. You and it, whatever it is. But this is a card of reflection and looking back. His head is postured towards the past. So we are looking back with resilience. We are looking back and honoring our persistence, our ability to persevere. Very, very, very resonant for me personally. This is not a personal reading for me. This is for Scorpios. I'm a Scorpio rising. This can be for the suns, the moons, or the rising, or anybody with really strong Scorpio energy. Top card, and the top 3 for clarity, is the 5 of Pentacles. The number 5 deals with the theme of adversity. And what I like about the way this is postured is that the theme is looking back. These characters are still trudging forward. So it could be honestly looking back on a time in your life or your partner's life, someone close to you, where there was some extreme adversity in an area of life. There was extreme worry, insecurity, even poverty. The Pentacles deal with earthly material and money and resources. It's also a Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo significator as well. It also indicates, just by the way that these characters are looking, is that even if you're going through something with someone, your perspective of it and their perspective of it can be completely different. What they remember and what you remember can be completely different. That's why eyewitness testimony isn't very good in a court of law. It honestly isn't. We still use it, but there have been many a soul convicted on eyewitness testimony that was faulty or fraudulent even. Second card. Oh, and the Tower. Okay, don't freak out. 5, you've got a lot of 5th house energy reflecting on the past. I want it for y'all to be reflecting on the past. I hope that it is reflecting on the past and that it's not something coming to you, but that you are moving away from. Because it seems like you would be, from what I'm getting energetically wise from the cards. This is the Tower. For anyone who has watched any sort of tarot videos or knows anything about the tarot, the Tower is a scary card for a lot of people. It freaks them out. And it represents a crisis point, but the crisis point is also a demand for action. The Tower is tied to the Mars card. Mars planet, the planet of Mars. Mars is about action, but it's also aggressive. It can be fiery, it can be war, it can be sex, like really sweaty sex. You are having Mars in that 8th house at the very end of the month. That's what I'm hoping for y'all. Tower, being a crisis point. Again, I hope that this is in the past. I hope that this is not something that you are looking at directly. The Lenormand cards are going to give us more information on what this Tower could be talking to, of, or about. But notice, there's a lightning bolt right there. That screams Uranus for me, and it's happening in your 7th house of partnership. Partnership does not necessarily mean your significant other. It could be somebody that you work with. It could be somebody that you deal with regularly. The third card in the top 3 for clarity is the 3 of Wands. The number 3 deals with the theme of communication, and the 3rd house is where Jupiter has been hanging out for a while. Wands again, fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And this 3 of Wands is like preparing. It's foresight. It's anticipation. Not being caught off guard. Could also be that there's a choice between 3. I see the Wands as a phallic symbol. So it could be like a choice between 3 sexual partners for some of you. If that's the case, go you, be safe. But yeah, and the back is completely exposed. They are not looking head on. They are leaving whatever it is behind. I hope that's you. Now, let's talk about the Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle card, and then we'll get to the Lenormand. I pulled for you the Rainbow Moonstone card. It deals with optimism, vitality, and inner peace. It can help heal and amplify the vibration of the 3rd eye and crown chakras. Rainbow Moonstone is the rainbow body of light within, kindling your life force energy and spreading harmony throughout the aura. You've pulled this card because you are in need of enthusiasm, self-appreciation, and deeper alignment. Meditate with Rainbow Moonstone to achieve inner peace, achieve chakra alignment, and experience newfound joy in life. So that was the gemstone card that I pulled for you. Now let's talk about the Lenormand cards. Remember how I was talking about childhood love, moving back where you were a kid, that sort of thing? What's interesting is that the card that reflects or gives more information about the the Nine of Wands is the Child card. And this card in the Lenormand deck literally means children, little, or small things. So the Nine of Wands, in my opinion, is dealing with the resilience and the persistence that you had during childhood. Very resonant for me. Like, I've got chills. There's another significator of the Lenormand deck. We have the Jack of Spades. Jack of Spades can be read as the page or knight. The spades are swords, so that would be the page or the knight of swords. Pages and knights are known with like messages, messengers, motion or movement. Swords are air signs. And the character deal, or those cards deal with like a curious, energetic, youthful energy that can be also very opinionated and hasty. So it describes me as a child to a T. I'm sure I was hell on wheels to raise. I'm absolutely certain of it. But if you knew my story, you'd be proud. The key reflects the Five of Pentacles. The key looks like the glyph of Uranus for me. The way that the moons are placed in the key. Again, I think I spoke in the Libra reading about a key as well, but it showed up as the Three of Pentacles and not the actual Lenormand key. The key is the 33rd card of the Lenormand deck. 3 plus 3 is 6. That speaks to the sun moving into your 6th house of work, health, competency, and skills that you bring to the services that you provide, and also your pet's daily routine. The key deals with important things. It deals with urgent things, and it can also speak to locks. I almost read this as you've been blocked financially or were blocked at some time, dealing with extreme insecurity, worry and poverty. Very shocking adversity came to you very quickly. I know that it did for me. Another significator of the key is the Eight of Diamonds. The Eight of Diamonds would also read as the Eight of Coins or Pentacles. 8 is a theme of change, and the Pentacles are our sign. That would be like being engaged fully in learning something. It would also be education in that area. It could be that some of you have really learned tough lessons about finances and fiscal responsibility. I know I have. I've still got renter's insurance to this day. I will never go without it again. Many of you know about the house fire, but in October 2014, I survived a near-death house fire, and we lost everything. We didn't have renter's insurance, and it wasn't our fault. It was our neighbor who had a cigarette that just caught her house on fire, and the wind was blowing my way. The Tower is reflected in the heart. The heart, man. This is the number 24 card of the Lenormand deck. 2 plus 4 is 6. Again, the Virgo house where the sun is moving in on the 20th. Deals with love. It deals with romance. It deals with feelings. Can also speak to the Jack of Hearts. Jacks, again, could be pages or knights, dealing with messages, messengers, motion or movement. The Cups are water sign energy. That's Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, so it could be speaking to you specifically. The Knight, Page, Cups alliteration would be like very charming, creative, romantic, synchronistic sort of relationship that could be coming out of nowhere. Or did come out of nowhere. Could also be that it was like, because the Tower represent Mars and we've got the heart here, it could be that like your heart was deeply broken. Deeply broken. And again, this is so resonant for me. And this is not a reading for me. I set out with the intent for reading for all of my Scorpios. Let me know in the comments below if this is resonant for you or not, because my back is full of chills. The hair on my neck is standing straight up. The card that reflects the Three of Wands is the Ring. The Ring is the 25th card of the Lenormand deck. 2 plus 5 is 7. That is where Uranus is moving in. The planet of shocks, rebellion, revolution, liberation, surprise. The Ring deals with commitment. It deals with promises and engagements. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's an engagement ring. It can be, but it doesn't mean that it would be. For some of you, it very well could be. But it could be a commitment to leave it behind you, or a commitment to stay prepared. Kind of like what I just got finished saying about I will always have renter's insurance. A commitment to stay prepared. Being actively engaged in your foresight and preparation. So yeah, it seems like obviously we're talking about money and resources and the things that we value with the Ace of Pentacles. And for what it feels like there is, it's like a 40-60 percentile gappage on whether this is positive / negative for you. Don't be afraid of the Tower. Understand that it is asking for action. Whatever comes up that feels like the rug has been pulled from underneath of your feet, know that that was an area that needed action a long time ago, and it took this to get you to move. And I say that because Scorpio is a fixed sign. I get that. I have a fixed ascendant and a fixed moon, so it is difficult to get me moving or to get me to move. It has to be my choice. And sometimes the universe doesn't wait for you to make that decision. Uranus definitely won't wait for you to make that decision. Some of you may find love online. Some of you may find love online, and it could come from a person that you knew in your past for whatever reason. For some of you, it could be that you've got a child that is wanting to get married. Is how I'm reading it, Scorpio. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you already have, I thank you from the bottom of my very grateful heart. Whatever you do around the full moon, approach it with love and compassion. Because that is the ruler of the full moon, Venus. Be loving, be compassionate. I am sending y'all so much love, and I do hope that you're well. Please take care of yourself, and please be kind to yourself. Save some of that kindness for others, because we're all going through private battles in our world that some of us may never speak about to another living soul. I intend on doing a 2019 early eclipse special or series where I pull some cards and talk about the aspects in the houses that were affected during eclipse season. If you didn't have a planet or angle directly impacted by the eclipse within close orb, then I have found that the energy plays out about 3 months after the eclipse for everybody else. If it's supposed to hit you, it will hit you fast after the eclipse. If you're supposed to learn something from it, it could come like 3 months after, is what I have learned in my personal practice and study, observation-wise. Hope you're well. Stick around for the 2019 eclipse video, and I'm glad to be back. I love y'all. Bye, Scorpio.